start. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Ty, and today we're going to be doing a smart home consultation for my uncle. He has personally asked me to, help him install smart home automation in his house. He's building a new house, so I'm going to do a couple of installation today, install a couple of data runs. Come with me and let's get on this journey. Alright, as you can see, the house is in the framing stage right now. So electricians have come in, they've done all their installs, electrical installation. So now we're good to go in terms of the data port installation. So we need to install Ethernet cables. But one of the biggest thing is we need electricians to come in first and install their own, because we need to make sure that the data port is at least 1 inch apart from any electrical cables. This is basically to avoid interference that the electrical cable could cause for our data. So we're going to install the data cables in select parts of the house. So first of all, there are a couple of things to make sure we're going to take into consideration. First of all, access points. Secondly, we need to make sure that the multimedia center has data Ethernet ports as well for media center like TVs, your PlayStation consoles, everything multimedia related. So we need to make sure that there's data cables for those ones. And then my uncle has also specifically requested for cameras, right? He has little kids in the house and they would like to be able to have video surveillance on the house whenever they are in the playroom or in the living room. He wants to make sure he can actually keep an eye out on them. So we're going to be installing data runs for those ones as well. Another thing is security camera for the exterior. So we're going to make sure that exterior of the house is fully covered. We're going to make sure that that part is taken care of as well. All of this, we're going to make sure that it's all going back to one centralized location. So in this case, we're probably going to choose the engine room. But come with me and let's check it out, and then we can start planning for installation. Alright, so now we're inside of the house, and today we're gonna be using Cat6 Ethernet cables for all of our data runs. Cat5 is pretty much Cat5e is what most builders would use in most houses, but we're doing a DIY ourselves. And the price difference between the Cat5e and the Cat6 is very negligible. So we're going to go with Cat6 because we're also future-proofing the house. Cat6 is capable of doing over 10 gigabit speed compared to the 1000 megabits or 1 gig from the Cat5e. Plus the Cat6 gives us a lot more protection and shielding from interference better than the Cat5e. So we're going to be using Cat6 for this run. We have identified certain spots in the house where we're going to be installing these runs. So we're going to make sure that the living room media center where the TV is going to be, we're going to pull about between 2 and 3 data runs there to take care of things like your TV, PlayStation, and any other multimedia center. And then we're also going to make sure we have one access point on each floor. This is a 3-level house, so each floor we're going to strategically put a wireless access point drop as well, so we can have maximum coverage on each floor. Another thing is we're also going to make sure we identify very strategic locations for our indoor cameras, and we also want to make sure that the location we're going to choose can be used for something else later on down the line if they decide to get rid of indoor cameras and the kids are a lot more older and they don't need the cameras anymore, so those ports will be able to be used for something else. And then we're also going to make sure that the exterior camera, data runs for the exterior as well, to make sure that the outside of the house is covered as well. And all of this, we're going to make sure it's going back down into the laundry room, the engine room. We're going to collect all the cables, they're all going to go back down there, and then we're going to install a network rack. So that way we have a centralized location for all of them. It's going to be nice, clean, and it's a centralized model and control, right? So now we're going to, another thing, yes, another important point is your multimedia centers, we need to make sure they have a conduit, a flex conduit pipe, right? Because you want to make sure you're accounting for, you want to be able to put in, HDMI cables or any, optic fiber or whatever you want to put in later on down the line. It's easier to run those, cables through or replace your HDMI cable later on down the line if you have to, when the old drywall has been put in, right? With the flex, it's easy to run it through. So every TV spot is going to have a conduit from the TV all the way down to below, for the media center. So let's go. Let's get this work going. We're roll. We've actually gone ahead and we've run the cable for the security camera that's going to be sitting right at that corner. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to install the low voltage bracket. But because this is a exterior facing wall, we need to make sure we're using the vapor barrier to kind of, make sure we protect the vapor from coming in, because it's an exterior wall. So there's going to be changes in temperature and all that kind of stuff, and it could potentially affect the device connected on the other end of this. So we'll install this, install that, and then I also have my favorite, Velcro wraps. So because right now when the drywallers come in, they're just gonna come in and try and get things done fast. So we'll make sure that our wires are out of the way and they don't pinch our cables when they come in and start to, put in the drywall. So we're gonna make sure that the cable is nicely tucked in there and, away. So let's go. So another thing is we're gonna add, just like the initial plan, we want to make sure that we have a network drop in every single room. So in this room, we're thinking, in a good case scenario, you want to try and make sure you locate the Ethernet port next to a power outlet, because most of the time you'll be needing a power outlet for any device that you're using, in your room. Say your laptop, for example, or your desktop computer. You would need a power outlet. So it kind of makes sense to just kind of situate it next to our existing power outlet. So we're going to be putting it right next to this this outlet here. So we're just going to put this box right there and then run the cable up. In this case, it's okay to have your Ethernet cable run next to an electrical outlet because it's going at a 90-degree. So you want to make sure the only time a data cable can run next to a electrical outlet is at a 90-degree, or it has to be at least 1 inch apart. But let's go. Okay, so now we've installed the electrical box. You could either use an electrical box or a low voltage bracket. In this case, they had some of this laying around from the electrical work, so just to prevent it from going to waste, I decided to just use the electrical box. So now we're going to run the cable. We're going to get it from here and take it all the way back to the control panel in the engine room. So let's go. Alright, so now we're finally done pulling all the cables. I think we had about probably about 14 runs in total. So we pulled everything out nice and clean. I've used the Velcro to kind of make sure it's kind of nicely tucked away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Velcro it away, put it nice and clean away so that when the drywallers come in, they don't pinch the cables or damage our cables. So once we're done with that, and once the house is completely done with the drywall and painting and all that stuff, then we'll come back afterwards and then we'll put in a rack up here, put a patch panel, and then terminate all the ends, and then at that point we'll do all the cable testing and we'll activate whatever port we need to activate at that time. But for now we'll call it a day, because we finished the easy part of it as well. It wasn't actually quite as bad as I had imagined it would be. It was actually very easy. I mean, being able to run cables when there is no drywall, no insulation, I think that's the best time to be able to run cables. So if you're building a house and you have the opportunity of going in there, I think that's the perfect timing for you to get your Ethernet cables done, because trust me, you don't want to have to do this when all the drywall is up. So I'll catch you in our next video. Thanks guys.